What do you do when she actually comes back? Not when she likes your post, not when she watches your story after weeks of silence. I mean, when the woman who walked away wants back into your life, fully, deliberately, and maybe even emotionally. That's what we're breaking down right now. How to handle a woman who returns after walking away, because too many men fall into one of two traps. Either they welcome her back with open arms, or they shut her out completely. Both responses are emotional. Neither is powerful. Welcome to the channel where we deal with truth, not fantasy. This isn't about revenge or manipulation. It's about clarity, strength, and understanding what her return actually means. Here's the truth. Most of the time, when a woman comes back, it's not because she suddenly realized how deeply she loves you. That's a Hollywood myth. More often, she's returning out of strategy, emotion, or disappointment, and if you don't recognize that, you risk falling right back into the same dynamic that led to the breakup. But here's where things shift, because this moment gives you the leverage. The man who was once left behind now holds the cards. The only question is, will you play them like someone who's grown or someone still chasing what he lost? This is your blueprint. We're going to break down what to look for, how to respond, and how to move with value so she sees you're not the same man she walked away from. Let's get into it. She came back because something else failed. This is the hardest truth to accept, but it's usually the most accurate. When a woman disappears and suddenly reappears, she's rarely returning from a place of strength. She's coming back because something didn't go as planned. Maybe she had someone else lined up. Maybe she chased a new thrill, thought she could do better or wanted more attention. But out there, reality hit. The new guy didn't commit. The excitement faded, the emotional high wore off, and now she's looking back. Not because she realized your worth, but because the plan she left you for collapsed. And here's the mistake most men make. They assume her return means love. They think, she missed me. What she actually missed was the safety, the attention, and the emotional support. Picture it like this. She pulls away, gives you distance, says she needs time. Days later, it's over. Cold. You find out there was someone else in the picture. Weeks go by, now she texts, "Hey, just wanted to see how you've been." That little rush you feel, it's real. But it's also dangerous, because if things had worked out with the other guy, that message would have never come. So now, you're the fallback, the safe bet. And that's exactly how you need to frame it. This isn't a grand romantic gesture. It's a failed plan, a course correction, and if you don't see it for what it is, you'll repeat history. Does this mean she's a bad person? No, but it does mean her motives aren't driven by unconditional love. They're driven by uncertainty, disappointment, or regret. And if you take her back without challenge, without pause, without standards, she loses respect for you all over again. So here's the first rule. When she comes back, don't assume her return is a reward. Sometimes it's just a retreat. Recognize it. Stay grounded. And don't let your emotions write. The next chapter. She came back, but that doesn't mean she deserves a spot. Not yet. 2. She misses the control she had over you. When she comes back, it's not always about missing you. Sometimes it's about missing the power, the influence, the way you used to chase when she pulled away, the emotional grip she once had. That's what some women crave, even more than the relationship itself. And this is what most men don't see. A woman walking away doesn't always mean she stopped caring, but often it means she believed she had you completely figured out. You were predictable, available, emotionally invested, without her needing to earn it anymore. And when that happens, the challenge is gone. The mystery disappears. The excitement fades. She knows she can test you, even leave you, and you'll still be there if she comes back. But when you don't chase, when you go silent, when you start moving different, something shifts. she's no longer in control. And now, the power she once had becomes the thing she misses. Not the connection, not the bond, but the control. Because let's be real, losing emotional leverage over a man who once gave her full access can be unsettling. That's when the subtle messages start. The hey texts, the random compliments, the breadcrumbs, just enough to see if you'll bite. And if you do, if you respond with excitement or desperation, she has the control back instantly. You're back under her emotional thumb. This is why you need to. Read beyond the words, a woman might say she misses you, but what she could really be missing is the power dynamic. The way you reacted, the certainty that she had you right where she wanted you. So pause and ask, has she changed, or is she just trying to reclaim her position? Is this real connection, or is this emotional strategy? Is she showing vulnerability, or just testing if you're still an option? If you don't ask these questions, you'll step right back into the same pattern. It'll feel like you're getting her back, but the truth? She's getting her power back, because here's a hard fact. A woman who truly respects you doesn't need to control you, so don't be fooled by the return. Sometimes she's not back to rebuild anything. She's just here to see if she can still run the show, and if you let her, you're not the man she comes back for. You're just the one she resets her game with. 3. Don't celebrate. Stay calm and unavailable. The biggest mistake men make when she comes back, acting like they just won the lottery. She sends a message, she gives you a little attention, and suddenly it feels like every moment of rejection disappears. You feel validated. Your ego lights up. You start thinking, she finally sees my worth. But that instant celebration, that's exactly what kills your value. Because when you celebrate too quickly, you reveal emotional dependence. You show her that her absence didn't make you stronger. It just made you wait. And now that she's back, your brain goes into reward mode. You start fantasizing. You start giving energy. But all she sees is this: you never moved on. That's not power. That's passivity. And it signals that she still has you without doing anything to earn it. Women feel that. They sense it instantly. If she sees your energy spike just because she gave you a little attention, she knows she's still in control, and that's when the testing begins, the pulling back the games. She starts wondering if she even needs to try at all. So here's your move. Stay calm, emotionally neutral, unshaken. Don't let her think she's still owns space in your heart just because she popped back in. Your energy should be measured, composed, maybe even a little distant. Not rude, just unavailable. Not only in your time, but in your emotional presence. No long replies, no deep talks, no opening up too soon. Let her earn it. Because if she's serious, she'll put in real effort. If she's not, she'll fade again. And that's exactly what you need to know. A woman who values you won't walk away just because you didn't drop everything when she returned. She'll respect your restraint. She'll feel the shift. She'll realize you're not the same man she once left. You're not here to reward her comeback. You're here to observe, to stay grounded, to move slowly and with purpose. Because when you stay calm and unavailable, you control the pace, you control the vibe, you protect your energy, and most importantly, you keep her guessing. That mystery, that's what rebalances the power. If she truly wants to be back in your life, she'll prove it. But if you celebrate too soon, you'll hand her back the position she once walked away from on a silver platter. That's not strength, that's surrender. 4. Test her intentions without saying a word. When a woman comes back after walking away, your instinct might be to ask questions. Why now? What changed? Do you still care? But here's the truth. You don't need to ask anything. You don't need to say a single word to understand where her head is, because women speak through behavior, not just words. The way she moves now, the effort she puts in, her consistency, that tells you far more than any message ever could. So stop chasing clarity through conversation. Let her show you who she is. Watch how she handles your new energy. If you're calm, unavailable, and emotionally composed, how does she respond? Does she get frustrated that she can't reach you as easily anymore? Does she step up and put in effort? Or does she expect everything to go back to how it was, with zero accountability? This is how you test her intentions, silently. No confrontation, no begging, no emotional breakdowns. You change the energy, you remove the comfort she used to enjoy, and you let her response speak. If she truly values the connection, she'll lean in, she'll match your pace, she'll respect your boundaries. But if she only came back for validation, she'll disappear again the moment you stop giving her the reaction she expects. That's the test. Because anyone can say, "I miss you," but very few will act like they mean it. Anyone can apologize, but how many actually change the behavior that caused the breakup in the first place? When you stay silent and emotionally detached, you take away her ability to control the narrative. There's nothing to play off, no emotional fuel, and in that silence, the truth comes out. Does she still show up when you're not feeding her ego? Does she give effort without needing attention in return? Or does she vanish again the second she realizes she's not running the show anymore? That's where most men lose power. They believe words and ignore patterns. But if you stay grounded and observe, you'll see her true motives unfold naturally. No drama, no chasing, just clarity. Your silence becomes the mirror, and in that mirror she'll see herself clearly. Remember, testing her doesn't make you cold, it makes you wise. You're not here to punish her, you're here to protect your peace. If she's back for the right reasons, she'll respect the new you. If not, she'll leave again. And this time it won't shake you, so don't speak, don't explain, just observe, because her actions will either rebuild the trust or confirm why she lost it in the first place. 5. Never go back to the same dynamic. If she comes back and everything feels the same, that's not a second chance. It's just a delay, and if nothing has changed, the breakup is just on pause. This is the trap most men fall into. She returns with warmth, says a few emotional words, and suddenly, it's like nothing ever happened. Same habits, same energy, same mistakes. It feels comfortable, so it feels right, but it's not right. It's repeating. Because if you let her return to the exact dynamic that gave her permission to walk away, she will eventually walk again. Here's why. The breakup happened for a reason. Something in the structure of that relationship stopped working for her. Maybe she lost respect. Maybe she had too much control. Maybe she believed she could do better. Whatever it was, that dynamic didn't serve her, and that's why she left. So if you let her walk right back into it, what you're really saying is, I haven't grown. I'm still the same man. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who hasn't evolved. The energy has to shift, not with ego, not with games, but with boundaries, standards, and leadership. That means you don't jump at every message, you don't over-explain, you don't reoffer emotional access without proof that she's earned it. Let's say before, you texted her every morning. You were always available, always there, even when she gave little in return. She leaves, disappears. Then weeks later, she comes back. If you instantly go back to those same behaviors, she'll know you haven't changed. But if she returns and you move slower, respond less, stay grounded and calm, she'll feel the difference. She may even say, "You seem different." And that's the goal. If you were once too available, now you show discipline. If you once ignored your needs to please her, now you protect your peace. This isn't revenge, it's not punishment, it's evolution. Because comfort should never be the reward for leaving. Accountability should, and that only happens when the dynamic shifts, when the man she left no longer exists, and in his place stands someone stronger, wiser, and more focused. So let her return, but let her return to a new you, one who doesn't repeat old patterns, one who doesn't hand back the position she once walked away from. Because if you go back to the same dynamic, don't be surprised when She leaves for the same reason. 6. Use her return to rebuild your frame. When a woman comes back after leaving, most men make the mistake of putting all the focus on her. What does she want? Is she serious this time? Why now? But here's the truth. This moment is not about her, it's about you. Her return is your opportunity to rebuild your frame, your mental, emotional, and energetic foundation. Your frame is how you carry yourself, how you respond, how you lead, and how you define your value, not based on her attention, but rooted in your own self-respect. Man with a strong frame doesn't move just because someone else wants him to. He doesn't drop his standards. He doesn't lose himself in the moment. He stays grounded, centered, focused on his purpose, regardless of who leaves or who returns. That's what most men lose when they get emotionally attached. You start bending your boundaries, avoiding hard conversations, prioritizing her feelings over your truth. You stop leading. You stop being respected. That's when attraction starts to fade. But now she's back. Maybe curious, maybe testing, maybe hoping things pick up where they left off. Instead of chasing answers, you realign your center. You stop reacting. You stop overthinking. You get intentional. You make calm decisions, and she will feel it. She might not understand it consciously, but she'll know something has changed. The emotional grip she once had doesn't work anymore. She's no longer pulling you into her world. She's stepping into yours. That's what it means to rebuild your frame. You're no longer the man who needed her to feel complete. You're the man who grew stronger in her absence, and now she has something to prove. Whether she stays or walks away again doesn't matter. What matters is that you've shifted. You no longer move from fear of loss. You move from purpose. And that shift is what makes you powerful. So don't waste this moment trying to decode her motives. Use it to strengthen your own, because the man who holds his frame doesn't beg. He doesn't chase. He doesn't need to explain. He simply lives by his standard, and the right woman either rises to meet it or watches from a distance as he moves on without her. 7. Decide. Closure or comeback. But do it on your terms. This is where most men freeze. She comes back, you feel the spark, and suddenly you're waiting on her again, waiting to see if she's serious, waiting to hear what she wants, waiting for a decision that should be yours. Let me be clear, you don't need her to choose. You need to choose. Too many men waste months in emotional limbo, hoping she'll do the right thing, that she won't hurt them again, that this time will be different. But waiting is weakness. You have to take back the wheel. Ask yourself, do I genuinely want her back, or am I just reacting to loneliness? Has anything truly changed, or am I romanticizing the same old pattern? Do I want peace, or am I just trying to prove I was always worth it? Most men never ask these questions. They just take her back because it feels good in the moment. But that moment fades fast, and if you haven't changed your mindset, you're just resetting the same heartbreak. So take ownership. If you choose closure, close the door. Firmly. No back and forth. No emotional ping-pong. Walk away with strength and leave no cracks open. If you choose comeback, rebuild from a new standard. No shortcuts. No repeating the old rhythm. Make her earn her place and mean it. This is your chance to show you've grown. That you're not the same man she left. If you fold the second she returns, you weren't evolving, you were just waiting. So choose, not out of fear, not out of fantasy, but from power, purpose, and self-respect. Closure or comeback. It's your decision, but whatever you do, let it be on your terms. So here we are. She left. She came back, and now the choice is yours. But here's the most controversial truth I'll share. Her return doesn't always mean regret. Sometimes it just means her other options didn't work out like she thought they would. That's why you can't treat her return as a compliment. It's not a reward, it's a test of who you've become, a test of whether you're still chasing what already failed. No, it's not easy. That emotional pull is real. I've been there. But this is the moment when men either reclaim their power or hand it back without resistance. So here's what I want you to do. Drop your story in the comments. Whether she came back, you're still waiting, or you're staying strong, put it down below. This space is for real men, not fake confidence. We build power through truth, not pretending. No shame, no judgment, just evolution. And if this video hit you in the chest, let me know, because remember, she left once. Make sure the man she finds when she comes back isn't the same one she thought she could walk away from. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.